Hail to the king, baby. What is happening, everybody? I know this is a late one, especially late for me because it is about 10 minutes away from 1 a.m. here in Newfoundland. But the truth is, if you're a gamer, you must be pretty frigging excited this week because this is shaping up to be one of the absolute coolest weeks in gaming history. We've got so much stuff going on. And I'm not just talking about console gamers. I'm just not talking about home arcade gamers. I'm not even talking about pinball players. There is something literally for everybody this week. So what an amazing lineup that we have to look forward to. Starting tomorrow, we've got PlayStation State of Play. Then on the 5th, it's only one sleep away for some people, 2 sleeps away from me, the Nintendo Switch 2 launch, which is going to just completely overblow everything all over media for a little while. Then on top of that, we've got Summer Game Fest coming up all next week. So we also have an Xbox State of Play, I think they call it, or Xbox Showcase. And then we've got a PC gaming showcase, and believe it or not, Arcade1Up is going to come out of the woodwork, and they're going to be at Summer Game Fest. Of course, we've also got the Harry Potter Jersey Jack Pinball official reveal coming up, and we keep getting more and more information about Basic Fun. James did an amazing stream just earlier tonight. I think Cornercade followed it up or something like that. But anyways, I did send an invite out to James. Hopefully he'll join me because a lot of my friends here on YouTube and in the home arcade space, they're not like into all the other shit, right? Like I am. I'm into everything. So James will be a good foil to that. Hopefully he shows up. And if not, send him nasty messages because he should be here. Anyways, guys, we got a lot of fun stuff to talk about. First up, I want to talk about Arcade1Up and Summer Game Fest. So this is something that's been rumored for a while now. Before we get into that, though, I should say hello because there's a lot of crazy people like me that are also up this late. So I want to say hello to the people here in the chat. I see Novasonic 23. Oh, there he is. James, my man. James, can you hear me? Can you hear? Are you messing with me? Can you not hear me?
Oh, now I can hear you. No, it was just a spinning circle.
So
there
it is.
I couldn't see or hear you until just now. So,
James, thank you so much. Sorry for the late notice. I was just sitting around. I was playing some Nintendo Switch, and I was just looking at all the stuff coming up, and I was like, you know what? I'm excited. I want to talk about this stuff because this week's going to blow up. Gaming news is going to be crazy this week with Summer Game Fest going on. I mean, the stuff that you're digging up with Basic Fun. Do you have a private investigator's license? Like, how does this work?
I just, I'm addicted to finding more info, right? So, I was messaging you today. I was going through every piece of that photo looking for any evidence, any indication of what was there and piecing stuff together until I could find a breadcrumb of a trail leading somewhere.
Well, that was red. So you confirmed we are in fact getting XL cabs from this company, right? That's what the Supreme cabs are.
100%. Yep, the Supreme are XL size, 67 inches.
Oh, that is so good. I was so worried when I first saw the pictures go up. I was like, "Oh, that looks like a deluxe," but a Supreme XL makes me happy. The only thing I'm worried about is going back to the initial statement. Of course, I'm in Canada. They said these were going to be locked to club stores. And I'm like, son of a bitch, this sounds just like Arcade1Up over again with the XLs. So hopefully that's not the case. What about the pictures we saw of the cabs without risers? Without coin doors. Are they the deluxe cabs or are those the $450 slim models? Were you able to suss that out?
Yeah, so those are the Ultra series, and
Oh
they are
no.
basically deluxe. So smaller games list, like the WrestleMania has 6 games on it in the Ultra size. I can only assume the Supreme has more games on it.
Yeah.
But that one seems to have the difference of the 2-player versus 4-player,
Yep.
with the 2-player on the Ultra, 4-player on the Supreme. But yeah, no coin doors on the Ultras, so you can add them, it looks like, but go buy your own or whatever. But
Hopefully they sell them relatively cheap because I know the lengths people went to with the Arcade1Up coin doors to get them. People were
oh
practically buying cabs and then returning them, right?
yeah,
James, before we get into everything, I was just about to say hello to the chat. Sorry to rush you on like this, but we were saying hello to Novasonic, Michael M, Michael Mana. You know this guy? You ever come across him?
uh, Novasonic.
Yeah.
So I have seen him in chat. I don't know him personally or anything.
You don't know him? You don't call him at home? He doesn't
No,
have a dorsal fin?
he doesn't know. Sometimes I watch him, but no,
Yeah. All right. We also got Jason Little Alien. I knew if I went live and got you, Jason would be here, and this would screw MG out of playing mini golf tonight. That was my real plan. All right. We also got Show Gecko, Prince Malcolm. Good to see you, Prince. Who else we got? Garage Gamer, 8 p.m. on the West Coast. He always he's kind enough to ask me to come on his late night live Friday nights sometimes, but I'm just finished Super Game Room, dudes. It's like 2 in the morning, and I gotta get up with my kid the next day, so can't always do it. Joe Hasowski, Cheesemeister, what's happening? Who else we got? J-Rod, good to see you. Finley's World, Ted Adam Green, Thor Casey, good to see you. Vegas JP, Calvin Wong, Mike Hawk Hertz, Nooner is here. Robert Brown, Bobby Q Bob. Oh, the first time I think I've seen you, Robert. I don't know. Steve Sale, good to see you as always, Steve. Sorry about giving you a hard time, but you just got too good at Walkabout Mini Golf. You were scaring us. Crying on the toilet. Hello. I've been there. I've been there 4 times today, actually, crying on the toilet. Hayden Dew, good to see you. Mad Dog's here. Good to see you, Mad Dog. Rotundo. I'm going to stop it with that joke. Ritual Dello. So good to see you. Let's rock and roll. So, James, this is going to be a friggin' awesome week. First up, I did want to talk about Summer Game Fest and Arcade1Up. So, we've been so fixated lately on, of course, what's going on with Iconic Arcade, and P-Dubs was on with me last night, and I said they charged us early. And I was thinking about it today, and P-Dubs was like, no, it's still Iconic Arcade that charged you. I don't know if I agree with him. I was thinking about it today, and I was like, this is Spreetail. That's a retailer. It's the same as if Walmart charged you early. You're not going to say, fucking Iconic, they charged me early. You're going to say Walmart charged me early. So we can make that distinction, can't we?
I couldn't agree more. It's like I bought my Switch 2, pre-ordered it from Target. Nintendo didn't bill me, Target did, right?
Exactly, right? So
yeah.
I'll go back on that again. I know it's still not a good look for the whole situation with Iconic Arcade, but yeah, like this was Spreetail. This wasn't Iconic Arcade. It's unfortunate, but let's call a spade here, right?
Yeah, and what I'll say in Spreetail's somewhat defense, because I'm not really defending them, because obviously they did it to me as well, but they did, when we ordered it, they said that's when they were going to bill us the second payment, so they billed it when They said they would when we bought the thing. Now they changed the rules of the game, right? They are the ones that came out and announced it's been delayed, so we're going to delay that second payment, and that's where they screwed up. Because once you told people that you're not going to process it, and then you go and do it, that's a problem.
Yeah, it's funny. So I saw that Paul Mindeman was sending them emails, and they wrote them back, and they said, "We can, do the reversal for you, do all that stuff." You know what I would have done if I was the Spreetail customer service rep? I would have just sent back a GIF of Darth Vader saying, "Pray I don't alter the deal further."
That would have been excellent.
Jamie Loken has an awesome question here. So you confirmed XL from Basic Fun. Did you also confirm they are 19-inch monitors or still 17? Do we know?
They are 19-inch monitors in the Supreme and 17 in the Ultra.
Garage Gamer makes a really good point here. For them saying, "Hey, we got your money, but it's cool. Like, you'll still get it in October." We don't know. Anything can happen between now and then, like literally anything. So, yeah, I think it's fine to refund your payment at this point. I mean, I don't think the money goes to Iconic. It just stays with Spreetail, I would assume.
Yeah, the way a retailer-wholesaler relationship works, right? Like the wholesaler buys a bunch from them, they pay them, then they sell it, and they keep the money from what they sell.
Yeah.
Right now, I'm sure they won't pay via, in this case, they don't have product arriving, so they probably aren't paying Iconic until they actually get product in. But I'm guessing once they get the product in, they have 30 days to pay them what they got, right? So.
Yeah. Well, that's. I mean, anybody that does business, you work in the not-for-profit sector like me. I don't know if you do like payroll and stuff like that there with your job. We're a small shop, so I literally have to do everything. So you're always familiar with that. Like, someone sent you an invoice, you got 30 days, man. Like they're messaging you the next week. They're like, "Where's their payment?" And I'm like, hey, calm down. This is, not for profit. Obviously, cash flow is important to us. You'll get paid when you get paid. Come on. Unacceptable Fringe says, "I'd rather see the finished product before pre-order, except Switch 2. That's an easy order." Of course, it's Nintendo. Yeah. I mean, it's not like it's going to come out with too many fatal flaws. So going back to Summer Game Fest and Arcade1Up, so we know they're going to be there. I know Mike of All Trades made a video doing a little bit of speculation saying maybe this is the time they do something, literally anything. And I'm more of the mind that maybe this will be more like last year, because I think they went to Summer Game Fest last year. The guy Rob from Arcade1Up went, and he just brought like the cabs they currently had, kind of showed them off, and they did a nice little interview that I'm sure they paid for. What do you think's going to happen? Do you think it's just going to be more of the same, or could Arcade1Up actually have an ace up their sleeve? They're bringing something new. I can't imagine they're going there with those $2.99 Walmart cabs.
Yeah, I'd love to disagree with you, but I can't, right? Like you said, they were at IGN Live last year. They just got done with that licensing expo, and it's the same thing, right? Yeah. They set up with their deluxes, their infinity game table, and they're just out there reminding people they're still out there, right?
Yeah, it almost feels at this point with like exciting stuff happening with Iconic Arcade, Glenn, even though it's not the same line, Glenn doing stuff, and then of course now Basic Fun coming on the stage. Seems like Arcade1Up just wants to remind people they're there. It's like they're in a relationship where their wife is in bed with another guy and they're over in the cuck chair and they're just like, "Hey guys, have fun. We're here, by the way. We still got that same thing we were offering before you wanted that new thing, but still here."
Yeah, it definitely is what it feels like.
Zim, what's going on, man? Yeah, so I don't know if we're gonna see anything at Summer Game Fest from Arcade1Up, but I'm not gonna get hopeful, but I'm open for a surprise, man. Anything would be nice at this point if they showed some signs of life more than just going there and doing what we just said. I think that'd be welcome. Like that would be honestly a full turnaround for home arcade in a very short period of time. I mean, the Basic Fun people are super excited about it. Like, we got people doing streams every single night now talking about Basic Fun over and over again. Apparently, Cornercade listed out their entire lineup for the next like 15 years tonight or something on his show.
Excellent. Yeah, I mean, it would be great if Arcade1Up actually like comes out with something. I know they have some Pac-Man demo cabs coming to like Walmart, which I assume are similar to what they did with the Class of 81 with Target. So I know those are coming soon. I haven't seen any yet pop up, but they're here in the country somewhere. So, what does that mean? Are they just classic SEs, or is it something different like the 40th? Is that the precursor to 40th anniversary or 45th anniversary, whatever it is coming out? I mean, who knows? So obviously Namco hinted that there was a special edition of that coming out, which I can only assume got screwed up by tariffs, but maybe it's still coming.
Hey, very nice. I don't know how to get this to him, but we got a $1.99 super chat here from Mad Dog to Jason. Jason, who's currently moderating his 9th show of the night. I don't know how many it is by now, but thank you very much, Mad Dog. That's awesome, man. And Jason, you are a scholar and a gentleman, sir. Thank you very much for your service. You did poke a couple holes in my conspiracy theory about Arcade1Up and Basic Fun today. Do you want to lay it out to me? I haven't had a chance to watch all of your stream yet. I popped in, made some rude comments to MG. So how did you poke holes in my theory that this is somehow Arcade1Up offsetting some of their cabs they can't make anymore?
Yeah, so what I can say is that I have an inside source. That's who provided me the extra pictures that I showed of the packaging and that had some of the details. And that source kind of hinted at, I'm going to say hinted, at who is actually the designer of these cabs. And it is 100% not Arcade1Up. It is somebody formerly associated with
Cheering and Think Up.
It's not.
Really?
It's
wow.
Not.
Wow.
Yeah. So, there were lots of people that worked at Think Up and lots of people that lost their jobs as a result of Arcade1Up, losing their, losing the Arcade1Up contract that Think Up did. And so you can probably guess that there were employees there that were part of the design team that have the knowledge that we're looking for places to land and people to work with. And so you can, I'll let you take it from there, but it's likely somebody who's associated with that.
Yeah. More plot twist than a Spanish telenovela. Thanks, Devastator Omega. So it's good to see that. Like, I don't know if you're a wrestling guy or not, James. Like, you watch the Graps?
That one is not familiar to me. Or you're just saying Graps for wrestling?
Yeah, Graps for wrestling.
So like I watched it a lot in the early 2000s. The Rock and Stone Cold era. And then obviously when I was a kid, but there were big gaps. Like, I basically missed all of WCW. It was only when WWF bought them and brought them back into the fold.
Oh, so you must think WCW is terrible.
I do. But I know, like, all my friends that are big wrestling fans love that era, right? Like, when that was first going. And then obviously, like, the completely stopped paying attention. So when all this AEW and these other ones came out again, they mean nothing to me. And so, out of touch with what's currently going on, other than I know this is a thing for some reason.
Yeah, you can't see me. So the reason I bring it up is there's currently two wrestling companies right now. Well, there's actually more. There's lots of wrestling companies, but there's two big mainstream ones. There's WWE, and then there's AEW. They're the two biggest ones. Then you've got outside companies, TNA, all this stuff. The cool thing about this is for a long time, we only had WWE after they bought everybody. But now there's all kinds of places people can go. They can go to Japan. They can go that. And it reminds me so much of what you're saying that now we have these new home arcade companies popping up like Basic Fun, Iconic Arcade. You still have Arcade1Up. So people that are very skilled specifically in this field it's good to see now that there's multiple places for them to go work, right?
Yeah.
Because before, what'd you do? Like if you were let go by Arcade1Up or your company closed down, you had to go to At Games. There was no other choice.
Yeah, it's a very niche skill set, right? So your options were to go do your own thing or go into a different line of work. And
Yeah.
now that we've got some options, and obviously being a entrepreneur guy myself, I will argue all the time that competition is good, that competition makes you stronger and it makes the market better and it makes it gets us what we want. Without competition, we don't get the improvements you actually want. Like we were beggars with Arcade1Up. Hopefully they'll implement this. Hopefully they'll implement that. Well,
Yeah.
now with competition, somebody hears an idea that the market actually wants, they'll do it, and then everybody else will be forced to follow along because that'll set the standard, right? And then everybody has to get on board.
So I do want to say very much thank you very much to your undercover person, your leaker, whoever that is. Like it's greatly appreciated. And in this person's honor, who we have no idea who it could possibly be, I'm just going to play this video randomly. Just randomly.
So I will say my source is not him.
Oh, wow. That's
yeah.
interesting. That's interesting. I do think that David McIntosh may be involved in this company. I will say that. The reason why I do say that is David is running his own PR firm now. He's not directly attached to any company, but I did share with you earlier, and I saw earlier, he did share the Basic Fun announcement on his Twitter feed. So it seems, I would think that David's PR firm is probably working with Basic Fun. Like this whole toy, what is the name of the magazine again? Toy Show? Toy book. This whole toy book article is very David McIntosh. It reminds me of like the Shack News pieces and stuff in the past. So I would say very much that David McIntosh is probably involved.
Yeah, and the whole like obviously we were trading messages earlier, right? The leak to Facebook of the Ultra Cab or the prototype or whatever that was pretty interesting, right? That's somebody that appears to have been active for a while, but not exactly a known source for working with these companies. So it's like, where did they get this photo? It was one of the things I found really intriguing, which is, sent me off in this spiral to find more information, right? Is where did this random person dig up info? And you had kind of mentioned that, as we talked about, he's from Ontario, right? And stuff. So pretty interesting stuff. And it's a small world, right? These guys are all kind of out there doing their own thing, and I'm sure they're all working together somehow in some ways.
Yeah, the buddies rubbing backs and stuff like that. Yeah, 100%. So, going back to Mike Hawk Hertz, that's how I originally found out about the Atari Basic Fun partnership way back. So, I don't think he's involved, but I think obviously he's knowledgeable in that circle.
Yeah, I would second that. I think he my impression is he's not directly involved, but knows a little bit about what's happening.
Yeah, and that's just good business. Like if he's working with Iconic and stuff like that, you want to know where everybody else is going.
And you keep all your doors open, and you're trying to work with them and whatever, right? He's a consultant guy. That's like now he needs to know all the players and kind of help know what they're doing so that he can work with them if they can.
We always talk about it in the not-for-profit sector. Like we'll have a board meeting and we'll have to do some kind of work or strategic planning. And they're like, let's bring in a consultant. And that is one of my least favorite fucking things my board can say to me, because what a consultant comes in is he comes in, he'll sit down with me, he'll sit down with members of my staff, ask a bunch of questions, and then go back to the board and tell them what we think.
Oh yeah.
So it's like a consultant will come in and use your watch to tell what time it is. That's the saying we always have, right?
That's
like
dead on. That's my impression as well, right? Like Like, I can tell you something once, twice, but until the consultant comes in to tells you the same thing I've told you twice already, you're not gonna believe it.
And
And then
it's like,
once they tell you, then, "Oh, yeah, let's do that." It's like,
so
"Okay."
it's your idea, but the board's like, well, we paid this person money and they're a consultant, so it must be the right move.
Yep.
All right, so moving on from there, we'll wait patiently to see if Arcade1Up does anything at Summer Game Fest. I think I did report on that a little while ago, but again, full credit goes to Mike of All Trades.
Yep.
Check him out on YouTube. He's the one that originally brought this video up and kind of put that earworm in my ear. So we'll be waiting to see what Arcade1Up does during Summer Game Fest. Is it a publicity stunt? Will they show off something new? Maybe that Pac-Man 45th anniversary, maybe that Hello Kitty claw machine. We'll have to wait and see.
Well, I hope I'm wrong and Moat's right, so I hope we're
Yeah,
both wrong.
I would love to see them do something. Again, more stuff happening in the space from multiple people is nothing but a good thing. So
Yeah.
I'm all about it. I thought Mike B was a night manager at Subway. No. I'll never forget when they came out with that title, and like it was such a farce. Like I remember when it happened here because they always had night shift, but you know what? They were having a lot of trouble getting people to do the night shift. They couldn't get people to work. They couldn't pay them more. So what they came up with is we'll create a fake title called Night Manager. So then the person trades working in the day for the same amount of money for working at night, and then their resume looks better. So stupid. All right, so the rest of the week is shaping up to be super exciting. You're like me, and I want to get interactive with this. So anybody here in the chat, feel free to jump in on this. Who here has ordered a Nintendo Switch 2? If yes, wait, don't do anything yet. I want to know what everybody has ordered with it. That's what I'm excited about right now. So again, I have the Switch 2 pre-ordered. I'm getting the Mario Kart World Bundle. And I also ordered some other stuff. I tried to order something else today. Didn't work out, but James, what do you have pre-ordered alongside your Switch 2? What's coming launch day?
So too many things. So
Me too.
so first of all, I'm stupid with money, so I bought the regular edition of the Switch so that I could get the physical edition of Mario. Right?
I don't blame you about that. I may MG this and buy a second copy as well.
Yeah. And then I ordered all the accessories pretty much. So I got the official camera, I got the Pro controller. I didn't buy any more. I didn't buy like more Joy-Cons or things like that, but I got those other two things. Cyberpunk, Street Fighter 6, Donkey Kong, which doesn't come out at launch. A couple of the Sega games, so Sonic Generations, Yakuza 0. I don't know, several games. I can't even think of all of them, and I'll probably never have an opportunity to play 90% of them. But I have, my eyes are bigger than my ability to play, I guess.
Well, that's the way I'm kind of feeling stupid here now too, because I am so inundated with the backlog, and I'm just like I'm buy all the games. I'm just gonna get them all. Mike of All Trades, like I never think of him as a RPG guy, but he's a big RPG guy too. So I don't know if you found a copy after, but I'll tell you what I ordered now, and I see it here. And this guy right here is the reason I ordered Street Fighter 6 right there. So maybe Zim, because he's told me he's played with you before. Mike, we can connect, play some Street Fighter 6. I know it's cross-platform, so I know Meatball Saucy wants to play too from PC. So I didn't really need to get the Switch version, but you get excited. The heart wants what the heart wants. So I originally just ordered the Mario Kart bundle and the Pro controller. I'm a big Pro controller guy.
Oh yeah.
But I messed up. I messed up real bad because I'm a 2 Pro controller guy, because I don't want to play with the Joy-Con in the dongle controller or whatever you want to call it. I never want to do that. So I always want to have 2 controllers at the ready, because what I'll do is one runs out, I just swap it out. So I went back to EB Games Canada today, tried to order a second Pro controller, and they were like, no, sir, they're all gone. We were out of our allotment day one. So I'm hoping
Yeah, this is the Switch hype party, Shotgun Sean. Welcome. Welcome. YouTube went nuts tonight, man. That's what happens. You guys can't ever take a Tuesday off again, Shotgun Sean.
Yeah.
So I went back to buy a Pro Controller, so that didn't happen. But I did go back last week and I added a few more games, and I might get more. And I know I don't need them, and it's stupid, but I might get more. But right now, I've got Bravely Default, Flying
I could
Fairy.
not find that one. I'm still looking for that one.
Yeah, so I got Bravely Default Flying Fairy. I never beat it on the 3DS, so excited to go back and play that. And I also have Street Fighter 6 because of Zim. And Zim was like, "Oh, I'm just gonna play people online," and I was like, "I'll get it too." Yeah, the cool thing is I've never bought it yet. I held off on it because Street Fighter, like the new Street Fighter games, kind of piss me off because Street Fighter 5 will come out and you're like, awesome. And then like a year later, they come out with Street Fighter 5 Champion Edition. And you're like, not awesome. So I held off and I was waiting for good deals and good bundles on Steam, and it just never happened. So yeah, let's go Switch.
Yeah, and it's nice that it comes with like all the characters that were released in the first
year
2
1 and
years.
2. Yeah.
So it's a very affordable price for all that content. I did buy it on the PS5 when it came out, and because I was like, hey, it's going to have this whole RPG element. I thought that was going to be really cool. It wasn't as cool as I thought it would be, so it didn't hold my attention much, but playing with other people in the community will be a lot more fun.
Holy shit. You're no way, Garage Gamer. They're not going to do Nintendo Direct launch day.
Yeah, I've heard there's one in June, but I didn't think it was launch day. That would be nuts.
So I've heard a couple different rumors. Another one I heard, James, are you a big Zelda guy like me? Like, I know Ocarina of Time ruined your life. Like, we went over this.
It destroyed my life. Wait till you see this Zelda, like this Link figure I ordered when it gets here.
Yeah.
It's like the greatest action figure ever made.
Oh, wow.
It's an import figure coming. It's really cool. I can't wait to get it.
So a rumor came out early last week, and everybody went nuts for it, saying there was going to be an Ocarina of Time remake for the Nintendo Switch 2. Now, I watched the video from RGT85 today. I don't know if you know him. He's not a Nintendo YouTuber.
I've heard that.
Kind of is a Nintendo YouTuber, right?
He's 100% a Nintendo YouTuber.
He's part of Team Switch Force. So, anyways, I watched this video, and he kind of went back and showed a track record of this guy who brought the rumor up not exactly being the most reliable. So I'm starting to think Ocarina of Time 3D or Ocarina of Time remake isn't going to happen. But I'll throw one out there that I know you will appreciate because I sure should appreciate it. I heard a different rumor a while back, and if there's rumbling about a new Legend of Zelda game coming out, one of the rumors that I heard was they're looking at making another Echoes of Wisdom, Link's Awakening style game. But I've heard everything from an original Legend of Zelda remake in that style to Oracle of Ages and Oracle of Seasons in that style. And the one that excites me the most, Link to the Past in that style. What do you think of that?
First of all, I'd shit my pants for any of those.
Yeah.
Like, obviously I would love the original to get redone in that updated like 2D, 3D style. But yeah, Link to the Past, I'd take any of those, man. Like the Oracle of Ages stuff, I actually haven't played either one of those, but those are naturals, right? For this.
They're on the Switch library, man. You can play them. Yeah.
Yeah, I mean, I have all of them. I also have the 3D ones. I have multiple copies of Ocarina of Time, right? In different from different systems. Doesn't mean I love that game, right? As you said. But yeah,
have you played through it and beat it though?
Oh yeah. Like when it came out, I was a day one buy. I loved Zelda back then. I bought the collector's edition at Target that had all the action figures and stuff. In fact, I still have those figures sitting up over here. Like I love Zelda, but honestly, I've talked before. I'm not a fan of that game, but I played through the whole thing. Now, I never played Majora's Mask as a result, and it spoiled me for a while. But
So here's a deep one that you guys might not know. We're talking about pants shitting. Do you know James has never shit his pants? Not once. That's a deep cut from Walkabout Mini Golf. James has never
Indeed.
shit his pants. So
Indeed.
if it comes out, it will be his inaugural pants shitting. I'm hopeful, but at the same time, like I'm gonna be honest with you, like I'm getting like Street Fighter 6. I'm getting what is it, Bravely Default, Flying Fury. I'm getting the Mario Kart bundle, which I know I'm gonna play a ton. But you know what I'm most excited about, and this is so stupid. I'm excited to play Tears of the Kingdom, Breath of the Wild, these updated versions. It's just an
Yep.
excuse to go back and play those games again. And I can't wait. And then I got my shipping notification today, and they charged me for my GameCube controller. So you know when that comes, I'm going to be jumping into Wind Waker again.
Oh, yeah.
Even though I could just hook my Wii U literally up to my big TV right now and play the HD version on my Wii U, I'm still going to play it on the GameCube controller for some reason, even though the whole people don't realize this. Those remakes, they changed them a little bit. Like Ocarina of Time, Water Temple is a fucking nightmare. But if you only ever played the game on 3DS, the remake, or you played it most recently on the 3DS remake, they changed the Water Temple and made it easier. And it's the same thing with that Wind Waker HD remaster. They made the whole process of collecting the Triforce bits in the ocean so much easier, so it didn't take up so much time and
Yeah.
kind of ruin the game for you, right?
Yeah, I mean, what I will say is I also got my notification today for the GameCube controller. Is that my understanding with the GameCube thing is not only can you play it like in the original format, but they've been upscaled to HD, and
Yeah.
they expand to widescreen. So they actually brought in the widescreen content into the games, which is crazy. So I
That's
think they've gone the next level on the GameCube stuff than what they've done on the other systems.
that's tight. I can't wait to take a look at that. I will tell you, doing emulation, one of my favorite consoles to look at in emulation is the GameCube. Like, I mean, those graphics, like on the PC, like when you're playing them, they just come through so crisp and everything
Oh,
looks so good. That system does not get enough credit for how good it was, how beautiful it was. Still to this day, I can turn on Rogue Squadron 2 and just be amazed. I'm like, this is like watching a movie. It's crazy.
Yeah. Yeah, I mean, that one and Wii U for me are both, like, so underappreciated and were basically flops of their time.
Yeah.
But, like, if you had the Wii U, it looked beautiful in HD, right? The colors popped, it looked so vibrant, and that controller, like, it was great. That was the first time you could just sit on the couch and play on the controller while the wife and kids watched something else. I mean, like, it was the Switch, obviously, before the Switch.
Yeah.
And yeah, I mean, you couldn't be super far away, but as long as you were in the same room, it worked great.
Yeah, I remember with the Wii U, like when I first got it, I was like, "This is great! I can play like my Nintendo purchases for the NES. I can play it like on the tablet while I'm not at the console." And I'd walk like 2 feet to the bathroom, and it'd just go off, and I'd be like, "No!" Anyways, very excited for that. So Switch 2 hype. I know I'm gonna go back tomorrow and I'll probably pre-order Cyberpunk 2. Even though I don't need it, even though I've got a completely unplayed copy on my Xbox One or Xbox One X, it was when I originally bought it. I'll probably go buy that just for the fact that this has like the entire game and then all the extra shit too, right?
Yeah, and I'm the same boat. I bought it on Steam when it came out, had the 3080 at the time, which was the, second best graphics card. You couldn't get the 3090 unless you paid out the nose. And and it was so buggy. Like, it
Yeah.
looked beautiful, but it was buggy as hell and it would crash all the time, that I just gave up. And I heard from a lot of people that really love it, that once it got fixed, it's a great game and the DLC was phenomenal, but I just never could muster up the desire to jump back into it. So this is a great opportunity, and honestly, it's the one that I've read the most about as far as like really a showcase for what the Switch can do technically. And so I just want to jump in for that to see truly how good it can push the 4K graphics on your TV and stuff.
So I'm a big, classic Nintendo Switch Online guy. I love the fact they have those libraries there. I just finished Metroid Fusion last night. I went back and made sure I got through that. One of the things that's got me thinking is all the controllers should work, all of them.
They will.
But how are we going to charge our NES controllers?
You have to use the base, so there's a separate standalone base you can get to charge the original Switch controller, so you can use those to charge.
Yeah.
Or you just use your old Switch. So
Do
it's a pain.
Do you think they'll come out with new NES controllers compatible with the Switch 2? Or at least new NES controllers that just have the USB-C plugins like all the rest of the controllers did? That's my least favorite thing about the retro controllers on the Switch. Those Nintendo controllers, the fact that you had to plug them in like Joy-Cons was bullshit.
Yeah. Yeah, I hope they do, but knowing Nintendo, I always hoped that they would re-release the NES Mini and the SNES Mini, and they never did. Because Nintendo apparently hates money.
Oh, they do.
Like you could just print that. But so I don't know that they will, right?
Yeah.
But at least with your Pro controller dilemma, the Switch 1 Pro controller will work. So, you don't necessarily need a Switch 2 Pro controller. All you get is one extra button and slightly better battery life, from what I understand. But
here's a weird idea, but a good one. What if they did an HD remake of Super Metroid, but they did it in the same style that they just did
is it Metroid Dread?
Metroid Dread.
Yeah, it would be awesome, especially if they did just the original Metroid. It's one of my all-time favorite games is the original one.
Yeah, the original. Well, we already got a remake of the original Metroid. It was Zero Mission, which don't worry, guys. I already went back and beat that a couple months ago too. So,
what was Zero Mission on? Was that a Game Boy one or a
Game Boy Advance? So that was a Super Nintendo remake of the original Metroid. Yeah, I mean they could do all that stuff, right? There's not a bad 2D Metroid game. I don't know if you want to. What was the one on Wii? One that was made by like Ninja Theory. Other M, Metroid Other M.
Oh, I don't. Oh yeah. I couldn't remember if I had that one or not. I'm looking over there.
that one. I didn't play too much of it, but like it was rough at times.
Yeah.
Good at really good.
Whenever you get not the original people involved, like at least the same company, you lose. And Nintendo's done such a great job of keeping the original creators involved when it matters to keep these games on track. And that'll be the interesting thing when, I hate talking about somebody dying, but when these guys start like retiring and not being involved anymore, and where does Mario and Zelda go when those guys that are there that just keep it, Zelda's evolved the way it is because the creator is like, no, we will not make a new game unless there's something new and we can push the envelope every time. So he's very interesting that way.
You know what? I love Shigeru Miyamoto, and I really appreciate him. But sometimes keep it simple, stupid is the best thing you can do. Yeah. So, I'll never forget watching him showcase, I think it was Star Fox Assault on the Wii or Wii U. Yeah, Wii U, Star Fox Assault. And anyways, he was showing it off, and I was so excited because I was the biggest Star Fox not Star Fox Assault. What was the one that came out for the Wii U? I can't remember now.
Yeah, that was the one that
Star Fox Assault was the last GameCube one. That was actually pretty good.
And the Star Fox was bundled with that other game.
Oh yeah,
because it was fairly weak, right? It was missing a bunch of the components. I can't think of the name.
But anyways, I will watch it. And Miyamoto is the kind of person that you've always got to have that gimmick. So he was talking about Star Fox, and I was so excited. Star Fox Zero. Thank you, new MG. I'm going to be honest with you. I prefer original MG. This new MG is not doing it for me. Why'd they have to go and add coconut?
He should have been Neo Sexy MG or whatever he's going
Yeah.
for.
So, anyways, when they were showing off Star Fox Zero, like he was playing it, and I was like, "Oh, this looks incredible!" And then he was like, "And then you have to use the gyros in the controller to control it." And I was like, "No!" So, there's some good and there's some bad about it, because what happens when Miyamoto's not involved? You get sequels like Oracle of Seasons, Oracle of Ages
Yeah.
to Link's Awakening. What happens when Miyamoto's involved? Yeah, we're not going to do that. We're going to come up with some weird fucking control schematic and then pigeonhole that into the game, aka Skyward Sword.
Yeah. That's why I'm skeptical when I hear these Zelda remakes, because he's been notorious for saying he's not interested in revisiting the past.
No,
That we've evolved from there, and why would we want to go backwards, right?
Yeah.
Not recognizing that, you know, we want to go backwards. The people that grew up on that stuff want to play that in new ways, even.
it used to drive me nuts in the 80s with games, because you'd always do. I did a video on it one time, games with vastly different sequels, and that was a big thing they did with original gaming. Like you look at Castlevania to Castlevania 2, and you're like, the fuck happened to my Castlevania? Now I ended up loving Simon's Quest afterwards. Same with the Adventure of Link, or whatever it is, Link. What is it? Zelda 2, The Adventure of Link.
Yeah.
Just such like, it's an amazing game, but just such a drastic move away from what the original concept was. And that was the big thing. They didn't want to just do more of the same. And then with Mario, they didn't do that in the US because they thought Lost Levels was too hard, so they did Doki Doki Panic. But then they went back to the well and did Mario 3, and they just added a bunch of stuff. They took the same format, added a bunch of stuff, and it was incredible. Same with Super Mario World. So it can be done. It can be done really well. So sometimes just keep giving us more of what you did that worked. Just add a little bit extra to it. That's all we need.
Oh yeah, exactly.
Yeah. All right, so that's enough about Switch 2. Love Switch 2. So freaking excited for this. Like, so jealous of all you guys that get to do the midnight release. I was talking to a buddy of mine earlier. Let me just look this up here now. Just Chris. So Chris in Ontario, he was telling me earlier he's going to do the midnight launch, and I was like, "You son of a bitch!" Because I got to wait till 8 a.m. the next morning, right?
So nobody out by you is doing the 3 a.m. launch or whatever time it is out there?
No, I went with GameStop, which is now EB Games.
Yeah.
And in my area, they're just doing the 8 a.m. launches. So, I'll suck it up and have to deal with it. But anyways, that's that. The rest of the week, let's talk about interesting for console gamers and PC gamers, because we've got both a state of play, an Xbox showcase, and we also have PC. I don't even know what PC showcase is. What do they do there? Tell you about the games coming to PC and then show you like graphics cards? Like, I've never
even
seen
heard of that. Is this new?
Yeah, PC game showcase is going to happen during Summer Game Fest.
Is it? Oh, so it's something Jeff Keighley is putting together or whatever.
Yeah, he needs money.
Yeah,
he needs money, James.
Yeah, this is his midway through the year refill my coffers.
Yeah.
So that's interesting. I was wondering, like, if he's partnered with Steam or Epic or somebody to pull it off. But yeah, so he's just like, hey, you guys all make PC games too. Let's make it.
I think last year he did Amazon Gaming, Prime Gaming. So that was the big sponsor last year. Anyways, first up's tomorrow's State of Play. So obviously we expect to see more of some of the games that were already announced. Like, I am all in on Ghost of Yote. Can't wait to play that. Then there's the Naughty Dog game that I don't know how people are going to react to. It looks
the heist game.
The heist game. It's the one where you've got the bald woman in space.
Yeah, it's a space heist game.
Heist.
Yeah, so she's the leader of the gang, and they steal stuff from planets and stuff. Looks interesting, I think. Naughty
Dog make incredible games. Games tell incredible stories, but sometimes the stories they tell don't jive with me. Like Last of Us 2 was an incredible gameplay experience, an incredible story, but man, did it make me unhappy.
Well, so I've said that, like, I love the stuff with Nathan Drake, the Uncharted stuff, and then the first Last of Us. I told people when that came out, it's a damn work of art. It's a beautiful game. It's well done, but man, is it boring. Like, I was like, it's a slog to get through it, but the story's so good, you have to play it because it's truly art in the form of a video game. And then when Last of Us 2 came out, which I had such high hopes for, I was like, yeah, this is Walking Dead. I've seen this before. It's the same plot. It's the same plot, the same key plot points, and the whole same morale through the whole thing. And I was like, this was the laziest writing ever because of that, right? They just completely ripped off the plot of The Walking Dead. And it's not just zombies, right? It's the fact that the moral is all about the bad guy is the good guy in their story and all that stuff. And it was just like, even the Negan scene is in the game, right? It's straight up ripoff. And so I was like, it's just lazy. It was just lazy plot, and to give them all this cred that they've created something when they really didn't. They just stuck their characters into a Walking Dead plot and walked away with it.
Well, James, imitation is the most sincere form of flattery. Let's be honest here. I mean, everybody takes imitation from something to make.
They do, but not
concepts.
necessarily a year later.
Well, that's true. Anyways, like the actual core gameplay, everything like that, outside of your story and the concept, like, I mean, Last of Us was an incredible game.
Great game.
Yeah.
From mechanic wise, it's great.
Mechanic wise. The second one completely like rips your heart out, and like I don't know, if I'm sorry if people here haven't finished it yet. The whole point of the game is everything is pointless. Like it is so gut-wrenching. Like there's cool things you can do, but man, it pisses me off. Intergalactic is the name of the game. That's confirmed, so I'll be keeping an eye on that. We also should get another update.
Fable.
No, that's Xbox Showcase.
Oh,
we're talking about State of Play. State of Play first.
State of Play, yeah, PlayStation.
And MG, you have shamed me on my Newfoundland accent. I'm working on it. Theatre. I can do it now. All right, so there's other rumors. Like I think mostly we're going to see that kind of stuff updated, but there's going to be something new. So what do you think we're going to see from Sony? Is there going to be anything new and surprising coming out? Astrobot was such a huge revelation for them. One game of the year. You assume they're going to possibly follow up Astrobot?
Well, so first of all, I love Astrobot. I think it's a great game, but again, game of the year was a stretch for me. It sold 1 million copies, where like Black Myth Wukong sold like 20 million.
Yeah.
Right. So you're going to tell me like that was a better game of the year. I don't know about that, but I love Astrobot, as it was a big hit. I'm hoping we see, because I don't know that they come out of the gate too much with the Astrobot. I think they've kind of already dropped at the last one that there are two ago that there was some additional levels and characters that they just threw in for free.
Yeah.
So I'm hoping we see something about Wolverine. Plus there's the Venom game that's supposed to be coming out before Wolverine. So I hope we get some real concrete stuff about Venom. Like, hey, it's coming out like the end of this year. Maybe they move it up because of Grand Theft Auto sliding back. And then a teaser for Wolverine would be great. But that's what my hope, because the Spider-Man games are so great. I'm ready to dive back into them. And they haven't done a DLC to Spider-Man 2 yet that I remember.
I'm not sure. Not anything that I can think of. They did do several DLCs for the first game, didn't they?
Correct. Yeah. And they were pretty good. So like the fact that it's been now like 2 years and we've gotten nothing, it's time Venom drops. So hopefully that gets shown off.
So every time there's a PlayStation State of Play, the PlayStation fanatics are like, Bloodborne 2? So I don't know if we're getting Bloodborne 2. I mean, these guys have been pretty busy. They got that brand new co-op game coming out for Switch. So I can't imagine that we're going to get that. And they're still working with Elden Ring. Ooh, Metal Gear Solid 3 Snake Eater. We should get an update on that. I know that one
Yeah.
is, well, that's Metal Gear Solid Delta, I think they're calling it now.
Yeah, Delta, yeah.
Yeah, DLC was canceled. That's what Garage Gamer and Novasonic is saying. Some ungodly results because people leaked it. That's a bummer, man. That game was fantastic. I absolutely loved it. Yeah.
Yeah, I always wonder though, just because it was leaked, why cancel it? You've put all that
Yeah.
work in, like, oh, now we're going to lose money. It's probably a lot of wordplay, right? They've probably go back and rework some of it and then release it, but who knows?
So Witcher 4, I think there was an Unreal demonstration earlier today. They showed off some
Yep.
gameplay for Witcher 4. Of course, people are upset because you don't play as Geralt. Geralt. I don't know how to say it perfectly. Is it Geralt? Is that how it's
Uh,
said?
I've heard Gerald. I've heard
Gerald.
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 I just call him Jerry. Right?
Yeah.
Witcher 4 is Jerry.
So I'm excited. I played through Witcher 3, but I have him on my PC. I still want to go back and play through Witcher 2, Witcher 1. Yeah, it's just one of those time issues. But Witcher 4 is high on my list. People are upset you don't play as Geralt. But it's theater. Theater. See, I'm saying it right, right? Right?
He's emphasizing the A. It's just theater. Theater.
Theater.
Yeah.
Theater. I can't do this.
Theater is very British.
Yeah.
Take me to the
Theater. Take me to the theater, MG. All right. Theater. I can't do it. Yeah, so PlayStation, I don't know if we're going to get any huge surprises. I think a lot of rumored stuff will come out. We'll wait and see. I don't think there's going to be any stealth drops. Do you think it's possible we're going to get anything like kind of out of nowhere that they've done in the past, like where we had that Horizon Zero Dawn just upgrade immediately, or like Last of Us Part 2 $10 upgrade? Could we get an upgrade on another like PlayStation 4 game possibly? Like what about God of War, the last God of War game? Like they haven't done like a PS5 upgrade for that God of War yet, right?
The Pro upgrade, you mean?
Yeah.
Like
No.
because it can't. Didn't that one drop with the Pro or right before the Pro?
No. God of War, the original God of War.
Oh, the original God
Not
of
the
War.
original, not the original, because there's rumors they're going to remake those PlayStation 1, PlayStation 2 games. But God of War, the first God of War of the second God of War, so confusing, right?
I know. Yeah.
So God of War, the one where you're introduced to the Norse
Right,
gods,
that came out on PS4, but
PS4.
but that did so it didn't have a PS5 upgrade. I thought because it was a free title when you got the PS5, like the launch edition one, where you got the 10 or 15 free games. That was one that came with it. And it was already 4K because it was on the PS4. It was released on PS4 in 4K.
But Horizon Zero Dawn was already 4K too.
Yeah.
They didn't need to upgrade that either. So I do think that there's a possibility we may see a God of War PS5, maybe Pro upgrade or whatever it is, right?
Yeah, it's possible. I mean, there tends to be at all of these one game that's just stealth dropped, like where they give you the trailer and then say, "Surprise! It's available right now in the store."
Yeah.
So I would imagine something like that could come in there. I don't know that they would do that particular update. Maybe they will. Who knows? I mean, it wouldn't hurt anything, right? But honestly, I think if they do, they'll get more flack. I think people are tired of Sony like remaking games that were just like a week, 2 years ago and saying, "Oh, now it's even better." Like the Last of Us 2 remake, and then we're gonna break it into 2 games and make you buy it twice and all that kind of crap.
Neo Severe keeps bringing this up. A lot of people keep bringing this up. Let's not forget all the Xbox games coming to PlayStation 5 because people are still really excited about that. Like we're getting Halo. I mean, Halo on a PlayStation console. It's not. I don't know. It's a weird thing because these are not new games, but they're new to console tribalists, I guess. Like I've always been I'll just buy everything so I can play everything, right? I've never been like specific to one brand.
Yeah, I'm the same way. I've collected all the different systems as they come out, so it's never bothered me, and I've never truly understood the console wars, why people get, but we see it in the home arcade, right? You got the people that are like, iArcade or nothing, or Arcade1Up or nothing, or Ad Games or nothing, and then they shit on the other one. And it's just like, why? Like, they're all games. Don't we like playing games? Let's buy the stuff we like and like all have
Yeah.
fun. Like, like, so it's the same thing with console wars. Like, it's everybody has exclusives. They have good and bad on every system. Like, but yeah, I'm actually excited for Xbox to branch out because honestly, like that console can probably go away and just stick with their drop their service on other systems. And I've heard like Sony's going to start moving like I think that God of War 3-pack is rumored for Switch too, right? So
Yeah.
there's there's a lot of that now. I don't know if we're moving into a post-console era where everybody just wants to do games of service and you just need some box, but, um, I'm all for, like, different consoles, like, I don't see what the point what the point of arguing about them is, and I hope Halo comes to PlayStation, but it's I don't know that I'll buy it because I have all those games.
Now, this is something that Garage Gamer brings up that if this does happen during the Xbox showcase, which we're going to talk about in just a minute, this is a pants shitting moment for me because I have a lot of games on Steam and I love playing them on my PC. But you know what I love even more? When I'm sitting on my couch and I think to myself, I want to play that copy of Control I bought for my PC right now
Yeah.
on my giant TV while I'm sitting on my comfortable couch. And I plug in my Steam Deck and it's running at 1280 by 720 and it's struggling. Like I was
Oh,
so
yeah.
disappointed the other night. Like everybody loves the Steam Deck docked. They're like, oh, it's crazy. I don't know what the fuck they're playing because I can't play anything on it. Like nothing runs well.
Yeah, you have to crank the graphics way down and everything else. I'm not a huge fan of portable gaming for that very reason. I like playing stuff in the high fidelity at the high
Yeah.
refresh rates and so yeah, Control is one of those great games that you really got to play in 4K. It's visually stunning and it's a great damn game.
So Neosphere makes a good point. He only has PlayStation. He hasn't had an Xbox for a while, so he's excited to play those games. That's cool, man. Like that's a fair point. I just bought a new TV the other day. The first thing I did when I turned it on was it was like, "Do you want to play Xbox games?" And I'm like, "The shit! I didn't even hook up my Xbox yet." Like it's literally on the TV
Yeah,
now.
it's
Your
built in for
TV is an
streaming, yeah.
Xbox. Yeah, but
Yeah,
it is
and
streaming, right?
yeah, well, but that's what's great, like, again, streaming games aren't all that great yet, they're getting better, but, that's what's great about Xbox's strategy is they're just like, really the device is becoming agnostic, let's just put our games everywhere, and that's why I think the Steam thing was inevitable, because originally, when they did Game Pass, when you wanted some of those PC versions, it was only through the Microsoft Store, like, I can remember having to get Microsoft Flight Simulator, coming out of COVID. Like you had to get it from the Microsoft store. If you got it from Steam, it was all kinds of wonky. Now they're like, oh no, if you have Game Pass, you can just get it on Steam too. You don't have to get it like through the thing.
Yeah.
And so it's like, it's great. So they've already started making deals with Steam. So it's a natural to just let Steam come onto the console and make the Xbox what it was always meant to be, which is that PC connected to your TV.
So we'll talk about that in just a minute. Steam Deck is a great emulation device. I've heard that. I bought like Neil Severa, you know about this. I bought, but I don't do. I don't really care about the emulation past like some of the older stuff. But I bought the Analog Pocket, and that does everything I need for
Yeah.
emulation, where I'm getting that perfect frames per second, right? So yeah,
Yeah, and if it's like, some those Ambernicks that are cost like, $60, like are more than what I need. And, I also have the analog pocket and does great. Like I don't care about emulating Switch. I'm not gonna do that. I buy that stuff right now. Maybe, you know, 10 years from now, it might be interesting when you can't get a hold of some of the games. But for now, I have zero interest in emulating some of that stuff.
Xbox Game Pass does not have Umbrella Chronicles. No, sir. It does have a ton of great games now, like Metaphor ReFantasia was just added last week. I immediately ran to download it, even though I'm not going to play it probably until it's off Game Pass. But, there you go. I do want to get to Xbox, but before I do, really quickly, I would think if there's a big surprise tomorrow, I've got a weird feeling, Resident Evil 9.
Oh, I'd love it.
Yeah.
That would be huge.
So
do you think it'll be in the vein of the story they've been telling, or do you think it'll pivot again? And
I think they have to pivot because I don't want to ruin it for anybody. But if anybody's finished Village, that was the final chapter in that story. Like they alluded to continuing on in a different way, but I think you go back. I would, what I would really like to see. I'm just going to be honest here. I know they're very happy with their horror stories they told in 8 and 9, and I think those were really good jobs. But I would love to see, just dear God, guys, go back and make a straightforward Resident Evil game just one more time. Just make it zombies, the conspiracy. Don't make it fucking weird. Las Plagas, any of that stuff. I know people love Resident Evil 4. Just do a straight up Raccoon City, people, zombies. Do that. The other thing, if it's not Resident Evil 9, something else I would shit my pants for. Code Veronica remastered.
Oh yeah, any of like Zero or Code Veronica would be great. They've redone 2, 3, and 4, right? Why haven't they done that same treatment to number 1?
Because they already
version.
Technically, they already remade Resident Evil 1 when they did the GameCube version. I don't know if you remember that.
Yeah, but it wasn't totally redone. It was just kind of like HD upscaled. It wasn't truly like what they've done with 2, 3, and 4, where they truly went back and redid the whole thing. Like even the gameplay's different, right? You got rid of those old style controls and stuff. So I would love to see them go back to 1, redo it, and revamp it to where they can make it a more modern, expand a bit on the story because it's probably a little shorter compared to these other ones. There's a lot more there that they just kind of scratched the surface on. And that's for me, like Resident Evil is one of my favorite games of all time. So I love that whole franchise. And
so
that's the gap right now, in my opinion.
I will tell you what won't make me shit my pants if they say, guys, we've heard what you wanted. Since you like Resident Evil 4 so much, we're doing Resident Evil 5 remake. And I'm like, nope, don't want that.
5 or 6, no thank you.
No thanks. You can keep that,
those
guys.
Were not good.
You can keep that. Really quickly, moving over to Xbox. So Xbox Showcase is coming out. I'm really excited to see more about Fable. We're assuming we're going to get another Halo release. Anything else that you can really stick out? I think the one that I would be super excited for that we talked a little bit about earlier is the release of the Steam OS on Xbox. Like if that went live tomorrow, I'd be a happy guy because I could just like, instead of trying to hook up my, Steam Deck and getting poor results or being nostalgia and hooking a full gaming PC up to my TV, I could just play it on my Xbox and it'll run really fucking well through there.
Oh yeah. Yeah, and so many games you're playing it with a controller on your PC now anyway, right? Like so
an Xbox controller.
Yeah. So it just makes sense to let you play those on there, right? And it's something Steam's been pushing forever with all their different devices that they've come out with over the years. So, partnering with Xbox to have it, I don't know if you'll be able to install it on there or if it streams from your PC to there. Like, I don't know how they're planning on pulling it off. But to me, it's a natural. And there's so many of those classic games that I've bought over the years and haven't had a chance to play. If I could do that sitting on my couch, like I'm more likely to jump in and play some Maniac Mansion and and Loom and things like that.
Yeah, well, I wouldn't do that. I would go back and play Witcher 2 and Witcher 1, which I just talked to you about. He says Fable still is until next year, unfortunately. Son of a bitch.
Yeah, but that doesn't mean they can't continue to tease it. You know they will.
Yeah, I will throw a couple more out there. I mean, I know they were beta testing Steam. That might be way off. So I think there's been rumors about the Xbox handheld, but
Yeah.
from more we know about it now, it might not be. Well, I'm so confused by this. So they might be making a handheld, but they're also putting Xbox on like the new
The
what is it?
ROG. Yeah.
ROG
Yeah.
Ally.
Yeah. Yeah, at least one of them has an Xbox button, whatever that means.
Yeah.
Right? Some sort of partnership is there. But yeah, I do think that's a gap that they have in there currently. I mean, obviously you can play on your phone or whatever, but not having a similar device to the Portal is a gap that Xbox has that I'm sure that Microsoft could sell a ton if they released it.
Yeah, especially since the consoles cost extra money. You know, something funny. I went to EB Games the other day, and they have the new Doom controller in stock. And I was like, man, I sure as shit don't need that, but I want it. And they were like, yeah, it's $110. I was like, what the
What?
actual
Yeah, because
fuck?
is it an Elite controller on it or
No, no,
something?
no. It's not an Elite. It's just like it's a special controller. But they just did the price increases, and I was like, I don't get
Uh,
these price increases with Xbox. EB Games, GameStop told me they haven't been able to get new Xbox consoles for like a year. No new consoles have been coming in. They just like have basically halted production or something. I don't know what's going on.
that's interesting because they also, right, cranked the price way up at the same time. It's like they don't want to sell them. Yeah, it's true.
So
I mean, because they raised them in Europe. It didn't make any sense. It
it's
wasn't just here, it was worldwide.
it's funny because they came out with that big egg campaign, like anything can be an Xbox. Then you find out, yeah, anything has to be an Xbox because you can't make any consoles.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah, it's a
Uh,
weird strategy, right? I think
yeah,
they're under pressure is my guess because this consoles didn't perform as well, which
no,
obviously hurts game sales. And so I think they're under pressure to increase profits there. And so they're doing that through just price increases and selling back stock and not investing anymore
well,
until they get
I mean,
through it.
Xbox could have sold a lot of consoles if they were just more Nintendo like from the 80s because they went
Yeah.
out and they bought all these game studios. So if Xbox came out and they were like, yeah, Call of Duty's exclusive to Xbox, go fuck yourself, they would have sold tons of consoles.
Yeah, the problem is they told the court they wouldn't do that, so
Yeah, that's why. Uh,
that's the problem with buying all the studios, right? When you try to do monopolistic things, they're gonna look at
well,
you, and honestly, that's their strategy. That it seems like they really don't care about the hardware. They are now falling back into we're Microsoft, we're a software company, we're looking at putting our games everywhere else.
I think they're looking at the future.
Yeah,
That's what they were doing back then. And they realized that, physical media, even though we love it, probably isn't going to be around forever. So they're looking at new ways to play. Netflix, stuff like that was huge, these subscription services. And they were like, how do we recreate that with gaming? Then, if you look at them buying up all the studios, that's not that unheard of. I talked about this on Super Game Room Dudes back years ago, like when it first started. But it's kind of what Ted Turner did when he picked up like TBS, the Superstation,
yeah.
and then Turner Classic Movies. He went out and he bought the rights to all the movies for the reason he would have content for his channel, and then he could also make money by licensing it to other TV stations. So I think that's what Xbox planned on doing. I just think I think that a lot of the studios they picked up, their involvement hampered those studios and really fucked up a lot of shit.
Yeah, and that's Sony's making the same mistakes, right? Sony bought up all these studios and then they fire everybody there that really cares about the games they made, and they end up cranking out bug-ridden garbage trying to get
Yeah.
the next quarter sales. Like you get what like Bungie, the once great studio of Xbox, and then Sony is now plagiarizing and putting out what is arguably going to be a giant major flop of a game because of all the controversy surrounding it. So it's a continual mistake, right? And this consolidation doesn't work because they want to build these giant they want to make $1 billion with every video game that's produced. And Claire Obscure is proof you don't need to do that, right? Just make a good game and you're going to get rich doing it.
Make a good game. That's the idea.
Yep.
Make a good game. So a couple, the one that most people is assuming is going to be the showcase game there might not be exciting for some. It's one that I'm looking forward to. Outer Worlds 2 by Obsidian. I believe it's still Obsidian that's making it.
I believe so. I'm not big into that game, so
They're the guys that did like Fallout New Vegas back in the
right.
day. They left Bethesda and then, they went out and did their own thing. Obsidian, they made Outer Worlds 1. I can't remember what else they made. I think they were involved in Avowed, maybe. But anyways, it's funny because they left Bethesda and they're like, we're going to be independent. And then they get bought up by Microsoft. And then Microsoft buys Bethesda. And they're like,
Yep.
welcome back together, guys.
Oh, the joys.
Yeah. So, that's the big one. But I have other hopes for Bethesda.
Yeah, I just saw that. I don't know what he's talking about.
Danny, you know what? Like, you don't need to do everything now. Like, we know you want to tell everybody about basic fun for the next 15 years, but take a breath, man. Take a breath. MG, can I pay you to what are those teachers that teach you how to pronunciate things properly? I need you
Just to get it, just order Hooked on Phonics. That'll
MG, I need you to teach me to be a proper lady. Will you come to my house, teach me how to speak properly and how to walk around with a plate on my head? I'm watching while listening to Doom. So the big one from Bethesda that I think we might see is Elder Scrolls 6. We just got the Oblivion remastered. It seems like now's the time to hit us with the big reveal for Elder Scrolls 6.
Yeah, I believe that's still a couple years off, but you would think we're at teaser point, right? To give us more than what we've had, which is nothing but rumors at this point. And with Starfield being the kind of like lackluster that it was, maybe it's time.
Yeah, I think it's time. Give us more Oblivion, friends. Yeah. So that's the showcase. I'm looking forward to it. This is going to be nuts. Like, this is what I remember coming back during like the height of E3 was like I would get home from work. I worked a really weird job at the time because we had gone through, I was working at a call center and we had gone through a change. We were originally with Sprint. And then we lost the Sprint contract and we switched over to be customer service for T-Mobile. So we like shut down our call center for like 2 months. And then all the management team was involved in training the staff to switch over to the new sources. So our training schedule was 7 a.m. till 3 in the afternoon. And you know how late I stay up? You know how hard it was to get up for 7 a.m.? But anyways, I used to get off work at 3 a.m. and I'd rush home and I'd turn on G4 Tech TV and watch all the E3 coverage. And, it's been a long time since it's felt like we get like a glut of information, like a glut of excitement. And this reminds me of that. This reminds me of that time being, in my late 20s, like all the cool shit happened with gaming. It seems like this is going to be a really fun week. And I'm so excited. I'm looking forward to it. Like nothing makes me happier than this shit. Like I'm such a big stupid kid. My world stops. Like I just want to like turn everything off and just turn on like these game demos and watch it. And then I always get disappointed because nothing that I remember from when I was a kid comes out. It's all these new games and I'm like, what the fuck is this?
Yeah, E3, like that was one of the bucket list things that I always wanted to go to, right? Three major conventions out there for me: E3, CES, and Toy Fair, New York specifically. And I've got to go to CES this year, which was awesome, and it just sucks that I'll never really get to go to E3 the way it was meant to be, and I know they're trying to bring it back again next year. It's never gonna be what it was,
Yeah.
right? That time is come and gone, and at least this is getting them all bunched up together like this for these showcases is at least close. Um, and I know, they're trying to grow this thing every year, the Summer Games Fest, that maybe it'll eventually turn into something more important in person. Like if I was in LA right now, it would be really fun because you've got this, right? You've got the Summer Games Fest with rolls into IGN Live, and then at the same time, you've got uh the SoCal Gaming Expo is also
Yeah.
this weekend. So there's like right now in LA, there's a ton of fun video game stuff going on. This is the weekend to be in LA. Unfortunately, it's also the weekend that the Switch 2 drops. So it's like
Yeah.
if I went out there this weekend, I would miss the Switch 2. So
Yeah.
unfortunately, that was bad timing. But
Well, speaking of that, I talked about this last night on my show. There's also pinball news coming up on the same day the Switch 2 launches, Harry Potter. And
yeah.
I think it's going to be fun. Very quickly, before we get to that, yeah, I'll go to the AVN Expo with you, man, if you want to go. I'm totally down for that, MG. Let's go.
So that used to be like butted right up against CES. So you
Yeah.
could go from that. Now it's, I think, 2 weeks later, in between CES, there's a concrete like construction expo, and at the end of that is the AVN Awards.
I gotta get good value. If I'm going to CES, I'm staying for AVN. Come on. So really quickly, Jersey Jack Pinball announcing doing the official unveil for Harry Potter coming up on the 5th, the same day the Switch 2 comes out. And I think that 100% that it probably won't matter in the pinball world. Like pinball people are going to be looking forward to this. It's going to be the main focus on this. But in order for like a company like Jersey Jack Pinball to really get that ROI on how much they pay for this license, you would expect this would be like a massive release. You'd want to do this when it's not going to be encumbered by something else. So, do you think it's like just silly of them not to pay attention to the outside world and then launch this on the same day as Switch 2? Or do they think that, oh, gaming news will be at a high this week, so now's a good time to launch it? I just don't get it.
I don't. I honestly don't know. How do you not know that that's going to dominate the news cycle? Like,
Yeah.
And you're probably not going to get much of any coverage. Wouldn't they have been better off? Like, I know they just made the announcement to the cast of the new show. Wouldn't it have been better like a few days earlier and time it with that? But excellent.
Yeah.
But yeah, I mean, it seems like it's going to get gobbled up. I mean, maybe they think the Harry Potter brand is so big that it will stand out, but I don't know that it will.
Yeah, I don't know, man. Garage Gamer says there's a Godzilla launch party next to me on Switch 2 launch day. Explain that to me. Maybe pinball people, we live in a vacuum. It's pinball. I'm going to eat, sleep, and eat it, and that's it. So eat, sleep, and what's that other one? Repeat it. Yeah, there you go. Well, anyways, James, I think that'll do it for tonight. We're almost at an hour and a half, so it will be 10 after 2, right around the time I'm looking at stopping this. We could, talk about every single arcade game that was ever released and if Basic Fun will do them. But I'm sure that's Danny's stream tomorrow night.
Danny's done that like every night this week, so I think he's got the world covered there.
Basic Fun! Let's go!
I will say I have, every collector, I think, has a dream piece in their collection, something that not necessarily a piece, but like an item you get that you dream about finding in the wild or whatever. That's those rare, one of a kind, one of two, like really rare pieces. And so for me, June 5th isn't just Switch 2 day. I have something pretty amazing that I was able to get a hold of, and
Oh
it's
wow.
arriving on June 5th. So I can't wait to get it together, to get to show it off. I'm very excited. And so
You found it.
it's
That's awesome.
overshadowing everything for me because it's coming. So
I thought it was only a myth. I had heard that they made one and it was a prototype. I can't believe you found it. Who knew they made a Roseanne Barr real doll that you're picking up on the 5th?
100%. She plays the national anthem and everything.
I did have one of those like holy grail type things, and it wasn't that it was the most expensive thing. It was the thing I would look for. So when I was doing a lot of my garage sailing and flea marketing, I used to take out $300 each time. I never ever spend anything close to that, but I always took it out just in case because I always dreamed, and I would go to every flea
Oh,
market
yeah.
imaginable. And my dream was I would come across a Turbo Duo locally. Never ever happened, but that was like if that ever happened, like that is definitely a pants shitting moment.
Yeah.
Yeah. Well, anyways, James, I'm excited to see what that is. Good luck with all of that. I'm sure you'll make videos, post pictures,
Oh, yeah.
and I won't see anything because I'll be busy playing my Switch too.
That's good. Well, that's what I probably won't be dropping that video on June 5th when the Switch 2 is out. Even I'm smart enough to know people aren't going to be interested in that stuff during that period. So,
Ghostbusters Day is this weekend. Maybe new HasLab coming. So, I saw a video today for the Mondo, Sam Hain and Peter Venkman. It kills me. Those toys are so expensive because
if
I
they
would,
can't get that price down, it would be different if they were like 12-inch or something, but they're 6-inch figures. That price is really high.
it's crazy. Like
Yeah.
I would have been cool with paying $100 Canadian for two of them, like
Yeah.
$50 each, or even like $60 each. But like, I think it would have cost me like almost $350 to get the two of them here to Canada. Just can't do that.
Yeah, they're definitely insane. I mean, they're great looking figures, but they don't look overly articulated. It's not like they have advancements in articulation or anything. And so their price range on them is out of whack. But maybe it's related to licensing because they're not going to sell that many, that they have to
Yeah, the
charge so
ROI.
much.
Yeah,
Yeah.
yeah. It's like the thing when At Games was considering doing Mortal Kombat. They talked to Warner Brothers about the deal, and Warner Brothers wanted like a stupid number, like $1 million. So they were like, "All right, we have so many users, we'd have to charge $210 per game."
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yep.
All right. Well, anyways, James, I won't keep you any longer. Thank you under such short notice for popping on with me. I knew you'd be the perfect person to share this with. We could laugh, we could have fun, and it would be great. So thank you very much, my man.
No problem. Thanks for having me on. I'm glad I noticed your message.
Yeah, that's a weird one because usually I'll send you messages. It takes like a day for you to get back to me. So this
Exactly.
works. Anyways, thank you very much, James. Everybody else, have a good night. I promise I won't stream tomorrow. It's been like 4 days in a row, but I'm having fun. I'm young. I'm dumb. I'm having fun. The gray beard doesn't make me look young though. Anyways, guys, have a wonderful night. This week is going to be awesome. No matter what way you want to play gaming, there's tons of news going on. Basic fun, maybe Arcade1Up, Xbox, PlayStation, Nintendo Switch 2, Pinball. Holy shit, what a cool week. Hopefully everybody enjoys it as much as I know I'm going to. Anyways, guys, see you later. Yeah, we're off now, James. We're definitely not live anymore.
Definitely off.
Yeah, so you can
I
tell
can
us that
see that.
source now for the basic fun.
So it's definitely not Travis.